Pamela's first video, keto style, and I'm about to make, believe it or not, cinnamon buns that are good for you. So my darling Kayla, this is a video for you. That's my niece, by the way. Okay, first off, I'm going to name the ingredients you're going to need. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 eggs, 2 tablespoons, actually 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. We're going to need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of almond flour. We're going to need 1/3 cup of coconut flour, and we're going to need 3 tablespoons of ground flax seed. We're also going to need 2.5 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of xylitol, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. One really important ingredient that we're also going to need, that you're going to need to make this like a lovely dough, is a product called Xanthum Gum. And we are going to need, I believe, exactly 1 teaspoon. Make sure 1 teaspoon of Xanthum Gum. Really important. Something that I want to add to this recipe is whole sour cream. I think it's going to be really loving the consistency for these cinnamon buns, and I'm really hoping that it is all going to work out. So Miss Kayla, we need all of these ingredients, and I'm going to list them for you, so you will be able to know exactly what you need for this, so you can measure it all out to look like this to mix it in that bowl. Okay? So let's get at her. Okay, so here she goes. I'm going to put the butter in. I'm not too fussy about being particular in the way I put it all in. I just kind of throw it all in one great big bowl and away I go. So, in saying that, here we go. 2 ringy-dingy eggs, 3 ringy-dingy eggs, and I know people normally measure. In my kitchen, I don't. I think I've cooked long enough to kind of figure out what a little bit of this looks like. So, there we go. We're going to put in 1 tablespoon. Oh my God, the vanilla bean almost fell out in it. Absolutely delicious. Okay, those 3 things go in. Let me see. I'm also going to put the sour cream in, which the recipe doesn't ask for. But there are a couple of things that I like to improvise on because I think it would just be lovely. Give me 1 second while I go get a spoon. Okay. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to put in like 2 teaspoons. If it doesn't work out, oh well, I know that I'm not going to add it next time. So that's kind of okay. Now, a couple little other things we need in our handy dandy kitchen is my little whiskeroonio. So, I'm going to just whisk all this stuff together. Just a little bit, just incorporate it all just a little bit. I'm going to chuck my little cream in here, get that all in, whisk that up a bit. I'm going to put my apple cider vinegar in here. I'm going to mix that up a little bit. See, the good idea is that it's going to sour the cream a little bit, so that's what's going to make it really, really yummy. Okay. Now for all the dry ingredients. Go ahead and throw your sugar in there. Go ahead, throw your flaxseed in there. Go ahead and throw your almond flour in there. Just go for it. Dump it all in. It's all going to get mixed up eventually, and this is the way we're going to do it. Okay, there's the coconut flour. Then we're going to put in the baking powder. And now we're going to put in the Xanthum Gum. Please don't forget this ingredient because it's going to make the dough absolutely beautiful. And this, oh, pinch salt, pinch salt. I use this kind of salt because I really know that all the minerals are in there, that all of the other salt is taken out. And it's absolutely delicious for you. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. To me, that's kind of like a little pinch. So I'm going to incorporate all of this, and this dough is going to start And like that. Look at it, all sticks right inside of there. So please, by all means, you can just like give it a little tap. Get it all out of there. And then use a big spoon, which is totally fine. And just give it another little nice mix. And it's going to make a nice little ball of dough. And look at it. It looks pretty wet. Understandably. I get that. But believe me, as soon as we're done and we let this dough sit for 5 minutes, then when we roll it out, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I have no doubt. So, that is your dough. Okay? So, let it sit 5 minutes, and in a blink of an eye, I'll be right back. Okay, the next thing I've done is I have cut two pieces of parchment paper. 1 and 2. And just lay them out on a cookie sheet because it'll be really a lot easier when you roll it out. And I'll show you what I mean. Because I'm going to put the dough on those two, on that sheet of paper. And I'm going to put this one on top of it. And then I'm going to roll it out so it'll be in a rectangle shape. So then we can put the filling on it and then roll it up and cut them into cinnamon buns. Be right back. Also, forgot to mention, listen, put a little bit of olive oil in a dish, and before you put this in a ball, because it's a little sticky, see? So put a little bit of oil on your hands, and when you put it on your hands, you can actually pick that whole thing up and it won't stick to you, and then you can make a nice little ball, and then you can transfer it onto the parchment paper before you roll it out. Okay? Just a little tidbit for the day. Okay, putting some oil between my hands. Olive oil! It just makes it so much easier to work with this dough. And wait till you see. It's lovely. It's a lovely piece of dough. And it's not your regular kind of dough, but it's a good consistency. Look at how lovely that is. You don't need to play with it too much. But putting that oil on your hands is perfect because it doesn't make it stick to you, and it's just really, really nice. So then I take this and I put it on my parchment paper like that. And then I'm going to put this one on top of it, just like that. And now what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to kind of press it down a little bit. And just give me a second here. Just gonna get my rolling pin. I had an idea that if I put oil on the rolling pin it might work okay, but I didn't kind of want to chance it, so I thought, no, it's okay. I will just do this and I will roll it out. So see how it's rolling out? It's really, really soft. And do the dough to the thickness that you want it to be, because that's the key of what you can do. And just turn your cookie sheet over and use it to fill out the pan. Oop, a little bit of it came off the edge of here, so I'm going to go the other way. This way. And push it down all the way out. I'm telling you, this is like so cool. I can't wait to see the end of it. So, just one sec. Okay, so I rolled it out, and this is what it looks like. Just like that. And I've used a rolling pin, and I've gone this way, and I've gone this way, just to make it nice. You don't have to make it too thin, because remember, it's gonna mimic a cinnamon roll, but without all the bad stuff in it for you. And these are actually going to be 100% good for you. And I just want to show you, look at how nice the parchment paper comes off. This comes off beautifully, and your dough is all rolled. So I just like to kind of do this along the edges a little bit, because I want some edges to be too thin and some edges to be too thick, so they don't need to be like that. All right? The whole point is that they're going to be absolutely lovely. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Okay, now we're going to do the filling. I'm going to think that we're going to have to probably do this in 2 segments of the video, just to make sure that it can get sent to you and that everybody can actually see what I'm doing. So this is what we need for the filling. People, I love grass-fed butter. It's so delicious for you. Cinnamon, amazing benefits. Well, I think so. It smells delicious anyway. And then I'm going to use a little bit of stevia, just a couple drops, because this stuff is really, really sweet, and the filling really is all about the cinnamon. That's why they're called cinnamon buns. So, and I also use a little bit of xylitol. So this is how we're going to do this. We're going to use 3 tablespoons. Actually, because look at how big that dough is. I'm probably going to use 4 tablespoons of this beautiful butter. And what else am I going to use? I'm going to use, I think, 6 tablespoons of the xylitol and maybe 4 drops of the stevia and a nice huge dollop of the cinnamon. And I'm going to mix all of them together, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in about 30 seconds. Okay? Okay, so filling is, try not to melt the butter. I melted it a little bit, but you only really need it to be a little bit soft, okay? Because what you're going to do is you're going to mix it, and it's going to be like a spread on top of that dough. So there is the butter. I put the butter in, and I'm going to put the xylitol in. So there's the xylitol, which is probably about, I don't know, I put in maybe, I'm going to put in 1 more. So I said maybe 6, but no, I'm going to do 4. Well, maybe I'll do 5 because it's the nice middle of the cinnamon bun, which makes it lovely. So we have the butter, and now I'm going to put in, that's a teaspoon of cinnamon. I like things really cinnamony, and so I'm going to put in a little bit more because I think it's just going to be, just put it all in, it'd be lovely. And then stevia, just like 1, 2, 3, because its stuff is really, really sweet. So you really want to be careful how much you put in there, right? Like you don't want it to just like be too crazy. So, I mean, the whole idea is about the cinnamon, right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm just making a paste, and I'm incorporating all of it into a little paste. And this is what it's kind of going to look like. And after you incorporate all of this, then we're going to take it and we're going to spread it over the dough for the cinnamon buns. And I'll be right back. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's incorporated. I added a little bit more cinnamon because, like, I am such a fan of cinnamon. You've got no idea. Well, now you do, because you kind of saw me put it in there, plus a little bit more. So anyway, next step. Now that this dough is rolled out, you take all of this beautiful goop, put it right on there. Hear that? That was the sound effects. Not sure what they were really supposed to mean, but I think it was my excitement of knowing how delicious this is going to be. So, look at that. Don't tell me what you're really thinking about what that looks like, because quite frankly, I thought the same thing. Anyway, we're going to spread that little baby all over the place. And then we're going to roll it up. I'm going to show you how easy it is to roll up as soon as we get the spread out all over, okay? Okay, so that's it spread. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll it. And this is a little bit tricky, but not too bad. I'm hoping not too bad anyway, because, sorry, my cabbage rolls caught my attention. There were some more that I made today. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna still use the parchment paper, and you're going to use it to help you roll this up. And don't be scared if you want to put a little bit of that oil on your hands so nothing sticks. But the parchment paper, if you use it, it can be your friend when you're rolling. See how it's working? Okay? Don't be scared to give it a little bit of a tuck if you need to. And you just keep on going with it. And let the parchment paper do the work for you. I just want you to see, like, look at how lovely it's done. And that's exactly, I'm going to put a little bit more oil on my hands because I'm just going to do this with it. I don't want it to come off of there though. And I'm just going to pull it down a bit and take this end off now. So the seal is there, and that's how it turned out, using the parchment paper to roll it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of seal the edges. Let her be all nice and tight together. I'm not squishing it too hard. I'm just really sealing the edges, and because I don't want everything to come out of them, right? Mind you, when we cut it, it probably will anyway too. So that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to cut it. Sometimes it helps to put a little bit of oil on the knife for when you're going to cut it, just because the dough is a little bit sticky, and that's okay. So I'm going to cut them like about that. One, I don't need them very big because they're just going to be a lovely treat. Two. You know, the lovely thing about keto is you can make things without flour, without sugar, without all of those things that end up making us, I don't know, I just don't think they're that great for us anymore. I think some things are so highly processed that it's okay to use some of these really wonderful ingredients that actually make amazing food. So I'm going to pull one off because I just want you to show you what they look like. And I need to go and get my round pie plate because I forgot to bring it here to show you what else I did. I'll be right back. People put it in a pie dish. I really don't mind putting it in a muffin tin. I think because these are so yummy and neat, I just put them in here and they will come out very easily and be just as lovely. So, Pam for Pam. How do you like that? Anyway, little pun of mine. Hope you enjoyed it. So I'm going to stick these little suckers in here and I'm going to let them cook right inside of these muffin tins. And I don't have enough to fill all of them, but I have enough to fill some of them. And it's going to keep all that goodness of everything in it. So when you get this far, what I want you to do is turn your oven on to 400. And when you put these guys in the oven, I want you to leave them in there for 5 minutes. Time it, 5 minutes. And then after you're done that, I want you to change the temperature to 350 degrees and leave them in there for 20 until they're golden brown. So that's how many cinnamon buns it made, which is absolutely lovely. Excuse me while I walk away from the camera for 1 minute. And I'm going to put some water in the other muffin tins because I don't want, I don't know. Why was I was showed that somewhere? I'm not sure. Maybe my mama showed me. But anyway, just put them in there so they don't get all dried out and everything like that. So my oven's already on 400 degrees. So I'm going to stick them in there and put my timer on for 5 minutes. Oh. And with the magic of time, while they're in their first 5 minutes, I'm going to put this on pause and then I'll see you back in a few minutes. Oh, but I tried Chinese cabbage in my cabbage rolls, and they are also done with my own dressing. The sides got a little bit gooky, but a little bit yuckied up, but I mean, all in all, in my opinion, I think they look lovely. So let's just see how this is. My cabbage rolls. Don't know how good they're really going to be until we try them. But apparently we used the other cabbage with them last time and they were absolutely lovely. So anyway, this is a cinnamon shell. So anyway, the cinnamon buns are in there and I'll be right back at you in 5 minutes. Okay? Because in that amount of time, remember, turn your oven down to 350 degrees and leave them in there for another 20 minutes until they're done. Okay? Okay, see you shortly. Okay, so 33 seconds to go. You're probably going to hear the timer go off because that's when I've got to turn the oven down to 350 degrees. And don't know where more of my wine went to. It just kind of flutters off once in a while. But for any of you that know me, that happens once in a while. So anyway, that timer is like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, I had to count that down because it's like very quick and close to, I just got to make sure I turn these down. Okay, and so now I'm going to put the timer on for these for 20 minutes. Excuse me, don't mean to be rude. 20 minutes and start. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm working on the icing for these beautiful cinnamon rolls. I've used some more of that butter, 2 tablespoons, and I've used 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate all of this. But before I do that, me, all about the power of vanilla. Just, I mean, icing, every bit of icing should have it. I think it's absolutely delicious. And it's okay to put in 3 drops of stevia. Remember, this stuff is extremely strong, so you don't need that much. And xylitol. Just to make this just really nice and extra rich. And it's not all about the sweetness. Can I tell you something? The xylitol will not spike your insulin. Won't even touch it. Everything that we've made here will not spike your insulin. It's so wonderful, as a matter of fact, that, man, I'm telling you guys, like, I've been doing this now since January, February, March. And you know what? I'm really excited to share this with you because it means a lot to me. I've lost almost 30 pounds and I'm feeling pretty damn good. And eating this way, I had a little bit of a health scare, so it kind of changed my life. And there's nothing wrong with that because everything happens for a reason and it all comes together for good. So that's a true saying. Yes. People will say I quoted that for the Bible, and maybe I love the Lord God with all my heart and all my soul and all my mind, and yes, I believe that as well too. That's a different conversation all on its own for all the miracles that happened in my life, and my family's for that matter. So, look at how lovely that is. Anyway, not meaning to ramble on. Love it! This is the icing. I mean, please don't be shy. Cream cheese makes it, I'm telling you. So, just mix it all up nice, incorporate everything. Make it nice and creamy, and yes, we're not supposed to use our fingers. Apparently, there's, got to be careful with everything. So I'm going to taste a little bit of it. It is lovely, but for me, I would still like to add just a drop more. So I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3 more and just see how that goes. I think the icing in anything is a very important factor. And I mean, come on, let's not kid ourselves here. I'm getting tired of seeing everybody eating donuts and everybody eating pies and everybody kind of eating all that good stuff. So that's why keto cinnamon buns. There's got to be a way, right? Got to be a way. So this is the way. Here, we mixing that all up. Okay, because I tested it with that spoon, I need a brand new one, and so do you. All right. Beauty. Just those couple extra drops. Ooh, amazing difference, I'm telling you. Okay, icing's ready. The only thing we're waiting for is 16 more minutes or those cinnamon buns, and we're going to make another video when we pull them out and take the topping off. Okay? So that way we have the whole thing. Okay. Ciao, ciao. See you soon. Okay. I'm going to peek on these. There's still 4 minutes left, but I'm still going to peek on them because they're in muffin tins. And I just want you to have a peek. And this is what they look like. Look at how lovely they are. Like, they're almost ready, not quite. A little bit of the stuff is coming out, but you know what? That's okay. That's just what makes this so lovely. Folks, I'm telling you, this is going to be amazing. Listen to me. There's a little bit of goodness on this knife after I spread it around. And don't you be shy to have a little taste of it, because, oh my God, I'm telling you, these are going to be so freaking amazing. You're going to absolutely love it. Okay, but now that you've seen me do that little diddy-diddy-do, now I'm going to go wash my hands. Because a person just has to do that before they touch more food. But I'm telling you, like, you can't not help but taste a little bit of that goodness while you're baking, right? Okay, yeah, thanks for agreeing. Okay, pulled them out. Time's up, and you got to see this. This looks so delicious. I think that, like, winner score 1. Now listen to me, this isn't my own recipe, but I do improvise on some things, because sometimes I think some things will just add a little more flavor, and I add a little more of this and a little more of that. So, anyway, it looks like the recipe worked really well, and this is what they look like. Lovely. Just to show you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out of there, and I'm going to transfer them into this pie plate, and then I'm going to put that lovely cream cheese on them. So we'll see the end product of how delicious they look, but not taste yet. That we'll save for the last finale. Okay, see you in a second. Oh, I didn't realize I was still videoing. I guess you guys are just going to all hang around until I take them out. You know what? I'm telling you, these are going to come out so easy. So I'm kind of glad it didn't shut off, because I'm going to slide this over a little bit, because I just want you to see how easy they're going to come out of here. Now, look at how beautiful that is. Look at how lovely they are. Can I just share something else? I think this would be okay to do this. I would just take a little blob of butter and put it in the bottom of this glass dish. And I think that when these sit on the bottom of this dish, and just spread it around, and I think it'll just give it a lovely little flavor on the bottom of it, where they're so nice and hot. I mean, you totally don't have to go overboard, but just like that. Okay. I just think this will be such a good idea. I'm just so amazed by how beautiful these are going to come out. You know what? Hats off to all of those people who participated in trying to find the best possible recipe ever to make such beautiful cinnamon buns that are wholesome for you, good for you, will not spike your insulin level. And you, listen to me, I gotta believe that there is no way we are going to feel left out for those of us who have to eat this way. I am determined to try and try again and come up with some beautiful recipes that we know could be for us too, that will be just as delicious. Folks, look at how lovely that is. Just look at that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And I am now going to put this cream cheese filling on them while they're hot. And I'm just going to blob it right on the top and let it melt its way through it, so it will become lovely and nice all on its own. I'm telling you, this was a lot of fun to do this video. It really was. I really love to cook, and I really love to share with other people when you're cooking how delicious something can be for you. That really, I mean, if you're going to be in the kitchen, sometimes it's not about how quick it is. If you get everything prepared beforehand, and while you have these suckers in the oven cooking, you can have your kitchen cleaned up in a jiffy by the time this is ready to come out, and it'll be absolutely amazing. And you can just park your Keister, take one of these suckers out of the dish here, go sit down and enjoy it while it's warm. Because your kitchen's clean. And you did it all while these lovely morsels were baking. So, I can't wait to show you guys this. I mean, it looks so pretty too. It really, really does. The question is, how are they going to taste? So, I have a little bit of icing left over, which is okay because, you know, it's all about the whole part of it. So, ta-da! Cinnamon buns that are 100% good for you, won't rise your insulin level. I've now shared a recipe that isn't hard to do, and the whole family will enjoy them. And let me tell you, trust me, you're not going to feel left out the next time somebody brings donuts to the office that aren't like, you know, good for you, but these are. Now, what do you think they're going to want to choose? A donut or your cinnamon buns? We don't need to answer that because we already know. Anyway, love you tons. Pamela's Delights. Healthy eating, keto style. That's what I'm all about. First video, Kayla, totally dedicated to you. Love you to bits, Niecy. And everybody else, enjoy trying this recipe. Bye-bye. Listen to me. I almost ended this video and I didn't even try what I baked. So, I have my roommate here and we decided to cut one in half. I'm going to tell you, man, look at the goodness inside of that delicious thing. And watch me go for it, would ya? Oh, yeah. That's what the doctor ordered. You guys are going to love it. Okay, sorry my mouth is full. Kind of rude, but I can't help it. It's so good. Watch again. Oh. Okay. Have fun making them. And I guarantee you're going to love them just as much as I do. Oh my gosh, you guys. Kayla. You are not going to feel left out anymore at all. I'm telling you. Okay. Bye-bye.